Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk some boxing. We're going to start with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has been seen back in training. This follows that elbow surgery that took place in May. Eddie Hearn has also come to confirm that Anthony Joshua will return in 2026, not 2025. Most likely in January. Now for me, this return just seems to be delaying and delaying and delaying. Whether that's because of AJ's injury, or more likely trying to source the correct opponent, I'm not sure. For me, it seems as though Tony Yoka is the name that we're gonna see. Uh, I think there's better names. One that I think should maybe be talked about is we're gonna see Anthony Joshua return after what 16, 17 months of inactivity. We're going to see Andy Ruiz return. Now, if you're looking for probably a bigger money fight, you're probably looking towards AJ versus Andy Ruiz. Obviously, AJ has some bad memories of Andy Ruiz, so whether he doesn't want to relive any of those on his return, probably. In terms of a tune-up fight, I mean, you're probably not going to get a better tune-up fight than Tony Yoka. It just doesn't excite, it doesn't enthrall, it doesn't get me saying, oh, I can't wait to see Anthony Joshua back. It's AJ versus Tyson Fury 2026 or bust for me. Look, if AJ doesn't fight Fury in 2026, I think my interest in seeing AJ fight again would be at an all-time low. I'm still at a point where I want to see AJ back in the ring. He is entertaining. He does excite. He is a good fighter. There are some good fights for him to have. So let's just hope that we see him in January and we don't get to December and we hear Eddie Hearn saying most likely March. We're going to then start questioning, is this return ever actually going to happen? Or is it paper talk? Or has AJ lost the love? Or is it just simple fact that they can't make the Fury fight and that's the only one AJ wants? All right, Jack Catterall is set to face Echo Usman. This is as far as I know, paper talk, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Jack Catterall versus Echo Usman, supposedly going to be on the Eubank versus Ben 2 card. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a tough fight for Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall's fought twice this year. The loss to Arnold Barboza Jr. in February and the win over Harlem Eubank in July. If you call it a win over Harlem Eubank, it was a bit of a not much of a fight at all, to be honest. I wouldn't exactly say. I mean, Jack Catterall won the decision. He won the fight. But to say that Jack Catterall went in there and beat Harlem Eubank, I wouldn't go that far. Obviously, that fight ended in a technical decision caused from their head clash. Now, that was Jack Catterall's first fight in the welterweight division, stepping up from super lightweight. Echo Usman, a natural welterweighter. We saw him sort of the difference when we saw Echo Essuman take on Josh Taylor. Whether this is the same, going to be sort of the same scenario, I don't know. Echo Essuman, now 36 years of age, one fight in 2025, beating Josh Taylor by unanimous decision in May. I think Echo Essuman, a win over Jack Catterall, I'm putting his name seriously in contention for this guy deserves a title shot next. If not an interim title shot next, a title eliminator. This guy is so close. He's been a big sort of staple piece within the British and the Commonwealth, and I think even European sort of belts. But he's never sort of been regarded at that world level. I think a win over Josh Taylor followed by a win over Jack Catterall. His record's it's outstanding. I think he's only ever had one loss. So I think we seriously got to start thinking, when do we give Echo Usman a title shot? He's in a welterweight division that a lot of people, including myself, have sort of slandered through the depth. And when you get Manny Pacquiao being pushed to the front of the line for a title shot, I think that tells you all you need to know. There are good names, don't get me wrong, there are good names in that division. And lots of those good names aren't quite in the title circuit yet. We're talking Devin Haney, we're talking Brian Norman Jr. He is a champion, but Devin Haney, he's new to the division. Rolly Romero got to a champion very quickly. Ryan Garcia is still sitting around. He's still a big name. So as far as when we see Eko Usman get this shot, I think if he can beat Jack Catterall, there needs to be serious conversations about it. We saw how Arnold Barboza got pushed to the front after beating Jack Catterall. I think it should be the same with Eko Usman. Murtat Zaliev versus Josh Kelly is headed to the UK by all reports. The only thing apparently holding up the deal is the choice of broadcasting. Murtat Zaliev, his last fight, that was a fight through. It was against Tim Tszyu. I know that the Australian viewing was through Main Event, but I'm pretty sure the US broadcast was PBC on Amazon. I thought that's the way it was shown in the US. So if Murtat Zaliev is sort of looking at that market, it'll be, if it goes to the UK, you just expect it to be on DAZN. I don't see them really doing any sort of other broadcasting in the UK. If it was in the US, I think there'd be more question marks about which broadcast it'll go through, but I would expect them to just finalise a deal with DAZN, and that fight take place in the UK, and all said and done. For me, Murtat Zaliev, I just need to see this guy back into the ring. I mean, he's the once defending IBF Super welterweight champion. He fought one bout last year. Or two bouts last year. He beat Tim Tszyu in October 2024 to defend the belt, but he won the belt through a TKO in April of 2024. So 2 fights last year. But the fight that he had before winning the belt was back in 2022. So you can see, like, 2022 fights, wins, doesn't fight again till April 2024, wins, beats Tszyu in October of 2024. It's now September, and we don't even have a date for Murtat Zaliev versus Josh Kelly. Not great. I mean, let's say it gets set the earliest, the end of October. It's nearly a year off for Murtat Zaliev with a belt. And he won it off weird fashion. I mean, it's not often you have a 2-year layoff, a year and a half layoff, and get a vacant title shot. So, Kyle Murtat Zaliev, let's get a little bit more active. I know that there's talk that Murtat Zaliev's ready to fight, but nobody wants to fight him. That might be true. That might also be bullshit. There's two sides of every story. So, let's just see Murtat Zaliev fight. Josh Kelly, I believe he's ready to fight. I wouldn't see any reason that Josh Kelly is holding this up. I've heard him speak. I've heard his trainer speak about how much they want this fight. Josh Kelly, he last fought in June, beating Flavius Bayer. They're ready to fight. I do believe that. Do I think they can beat Murtat Zaliev? That's a different story, but I think Josh Kelly is more than ready to get this fight going. All right, let's go into the last bit of news. Katie Taylor has been granted a 3-week extension by the WBC for the Chantel Cameron 3 fight. I want to see this fight. Obviously, they're one apiece. Chantel Cameron getting the first win. Let's get it going. Just get it done. Just get it done. Honestly, just get it done. Let's see the fight. Katie Taylor, I was surprised. I was thinking that she might have retired after Serrano 3. But if she's making good dough, which I think she is now under MVP, I don't see there's any reason to not fight again. You beat Chantel Cameron again. That certifies that you are the better one out of those two. Currently one apiece, separate that. No question marks about it. It has risen, I think, more recently. And if she gets another win, it'll become even more questioned. Who is the real GOAT? Is it Clarissa Shields? Is it Katie Taylor? And I think there is a very, very good debate there. We're not going to debate that on this show, but for me, it is Clarissa Shields. Alright guys, that is all the news for today. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'm out of here guys. See ya!